Guys, today we're going to use our popsicle stick and we are going to cut our clay into 2 equal rectangles. We want to press down all the way to the mat, pulling the popsicle stick through the clay. Now we're going to set one aside, and I'm going to take one rectangle and I'm going to smack and slap it into a sphere. Okay, once you have your sphere, we will make a pinch pot for the head of our gnome. Push your thumb into the center and use the quack, quack, quack motion with your fingers on the outside to shape it into a bowl. We want the top, the sides, and the rim to all be the same thicknesses. Here you see I've used 2 thumbs and 2 hands to try and get that all nice and even. Now I'm going to give it a little tap tap on the rim to make it flat so that it sits nice and straight. There's a handout with some ideas that you can use for inspiration. We will be using 3/4 of our clay to make the hat. And then the remaining quarter will be for the beard, the mustache, and the nose. So here you will see me. I'm going to use the small piece of our clay, and I'm going to press it into an ice cream cone shape. And that's how I'm going to make my beard. I'm going to kind of give it a little roll with the little rolling pin that's in my kit. And I'm going to use the skewer to give that beard a little texture. I'm going to use that skewer to kind of scrape down into it. Use your popsicle stick to clean up the edges of your beard, and then use the tools in your toolkit to add texture and detail. You can cut off the excess or curl the beard up. That is your choice. Be sure to slip and score everything. Use that toothbrush. You're going to scratch both pieces and put the sticky sides together. We want to give it a little wiggle so that we avoid any air pockets that might get trapped between the beard and the head. Here's where you can decide if you want to keep that extra part of the beard and curl it up, or if you want to go ahead and cut it off. I decided to cut mine off, and I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to smooth my beard into the rim of my pinch pot so that it's nice and secure. Next, I'm going to take some of the remainder of my clay, not all of it, because I still need to make a mustache and a nose. So just some of that remaining clay, I'm going to make an ice cream cone shape for the hats. I'm also going to use the pinch pot method to make the hole for the hat. So you'll see me using that quack, quack, quack motion and my 2 thumbs inside to make the hat that will fit on top of his head. You may have to measure it a few times to see and make sure that it fits down over the head. Remember, we're not going to see any eyes for our gnome. So just keep pinch potting and see if it fits. Here you're going to see me use a little bit of that clay. I'm going to make another ice cream cone shape. I'm going to tap it on the back to make it flat so it sits on his face good and make his little nostrils for his nose. I'm going to slip and score that and put it on his face. My hat, I need to set that to the side. I'm going to put the hat on very last. I'm going to slip and score that hat very last. Do you see that hole in the top of his head? I need you to take a skewer and poke a hole in there because we don't want any air pockets to be between the head and the hat. If we have an air pocket, your head will explode, and I'm very sorry for that. But So make sure you have that hole in his head so that there's no air pocket. Now I'm going to slip and score my nose, and I'm going to put it on my face and give it a little wiggle. If your piece starts to look a little dry, if it gets that elephant skin, put your finger in the slip and smooth that slip onto your piece, rubbing it until it is no longer shiny. Next, I'm going to make his mustache. I'm going to make two little teeny tiny ice cream cone shape, little raindrop shapes. I'm going to flatten those with my thumb, and then I'm going to add the texture for the hair that's in the mustache, curl them a little bit, and then put them right underneath the nose. It is very, very important that you slip and score all of your things to your head. That slip and score action will ensure that all your pieces are secured and nothing's going to fall off during the firing process. I give it a little press and a little wiggle, and there you have his cute little face. Here you're going to see me clean up any details I might have smudged out with my fingers working with it. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slip and score really well and attach my hat to the top. Now, if you want to add texture or anything to your hat, here is where you will do it.